Lily, a 13-year-old introverted girl, is struggling with adolescence. Ever since her parents divorced, she finds it difficult to connect with them. Her only friend is a ginger mutt named Hagen, with whom she spends all her free time. Lily's mother is heading to Australia for work and asks her ex-husband, Daniel, to take care of their daughter and the dog. Daniel, who works at a slaughterhouse, hasn't seen his daughter since she was little and isn't thrilled about having a dog in his apartment. Despite his discomfort, he agrees to make Lily happy. Unfamiliar with her interests, he awkwardly gives her a bottle of soap bubbles as a gift. Upon arriving home, Daniel's landlord informs him that the dog can't stay in the apartment. Daniel tries to reason with her, saying it won't be for long. During dinner, Lily feeds Hagen scraps from the table, which irritates her father. Annoyed by her behavior, he scolds her for not respecting his rules. Later, Lily wants Hagen to sleep in her room, but Daniel refuses, locking the dog in the bathroom. Hagen howls all night, keeping both of them awake. To calm her dog, Lily plays the Hungarian Rhapsody No. 2 on her trumpet. The soothing music puts Hagen to sleep, and Lily curls up next to him in the bathroom. The next morning, an animal control officer knocks on their door, following complaints from neighbors. Daniel tries to hide the dog, but Hagen emerges from the bathroom. The officer informs Daniel that he must pay a tax for owning an unregistered stray. Angry, Daniel refuses to pay for the dog, claiming it's not even his. Lily overhears the conversation and worries her father will send Hagen to a shelter. To avoid leaving her dog behind, she sneaks him into her music school and hides him in a storage room. However, the loud noises frighten Hagen, causing him to disrupt the class. The teacher, furious, orders Lily to remove the dog. Lily refuses to leave Hagen alone and decides to leave with him. On their way home, Daniel intercepts Lily. After receiving a call from the teacher, he angrily insists they take Hagen to a shelter. Despite Lily's pleas to pay the tax, Daniel stops the car and forces Hagen out into the street. Devastated, Lily watches as her beloved dog chases after the car but fails to keep up, leaving him stranded in the middle of a highway. That night, Lily plans to search for Hagen, but her father stops her. Hagen waits for hours where he was abandoned, but Lily never comes. Desperate and hungry, Hagen ventures into the city, finding a dead dog by the roadside. Though tempted, he chooses not to eat his own kind, and instead follows a scent to a butcher shop. A small white dog leads Hagen to a market, where other strays are scavenging for food. But when Hagen approaches, the other dogs bark at him. The butcher, alerted by the noise, chases the dogs away. Hagen remains defiant, which angers the butcher further. The ginger dog hides, but the butcher, armed with a knife, finds him. Just as he's about to strike, the white dog intervenes, biting the butcher and saving Hagen. Hagen and his new friend find refuge in an abandoned yard, where a group of stray dogs play. However, the pack refuses to accept Hagen, so he and the white dog keep their distance. The next day, the dog catchers arrive, and the two friends narrowly escape. They flee through the city's alleys, where Hagen briefly finds shelter with a homeless man, only to be tricked and collared. Meanwhile, Daniel takes Lily back to the music school and forces her to apologize. Lily pretends to have accepted that Hagen is gone, but after class, she returns to where they abandoned him. Finding no trace of her pet, she begins putting up missing posters around the neighborhood. That evening, a homeless man sells Hagen to a restaurant owner who deals in illegal dog trading. Hagen is soon purchased by Defies, a dogfight organizer who chooses him over larger, more aggressive dogs, confident he can turn the ginger mutt into a fighter. After drugging Hagen, Szabolcs begins a brutal training regimen, feeding him protein supplements and beating him into submission. Over time, Hagen becomes aggressive and loses all traces of his former gentleness. Lily, meanwhile, refuses to give up her search for Hagen. She visits a local animal shelter, but the owner tells her it's unlikely her dog survived. Lily's hope dims, especially after her bike is stolen, leaving her stranded. Later, Hagen is taken to an underground dogfighting ring. His opponent is a large black Rottweiler. At first, Hagen is losing, but he eventually overpowers his rival, delivering a fatal bite. The victory is hollow, though, and Hagen gazes blankly as the Rottweiler's lifeless body is dragged away. Admiring Hagen's fighting spirit, a spectator offers to buy him, but Szabolcs refuses. A heated argument follows, and in the ensuing chaos, the lights go out. Hagen seizes the moment to escape, fleeing into the night. At the same time, Lily is wandering the streets and meets her classmate Peter. Wanting to avoid returning home, she joins him at a nightclub, where she is used to smuggle drugs inside. Left alone, she becomes jealous and drinks heavily, eventually passing out. The next morning, the police find her, and though the drug test comes back negative, they return her to her worried father. Daniel, now filled with guilt, offers to adopt another dog, but Lily refuses, saying she no longer wants a pet. Hagen, having fled his captors, returns to the yard where the other strays had once rejected him. This time, however, they welcome him as their leader. Together, they form a massive pack, roaming the city in search of revenge against those who wronged them. Their first target is the restaurant owner, whom they maul to death. As Lily follows the pack, she realizes they are targeting specific people, and she becomes determined to find Hagen before the police do. Though many dogs are killed, Hagen and his pack remain elusive. Eventually, Hagen confronts Szabolcs, and the dogs tear their former tormentor to pieces. Lily finally catches up with Hagen, but he no longer recognizes her as his friend. As he approaches menacingly, Daniel arrives, armed with a blowtorch, ready to defend his daughter. The situation escalates, but Lily, desperate, plays the Hungarian Rhapsody No. 2 on her trumpet. The familiar tune soothes Hagen, and he lies down, followed by the rest of the pack. As dawn breaks, Daniel joins Lily, lying down beside her, grateful that the violence has come to an end. If you enjoy it, click and subscribe and watch the next video.